guys, it's Flora and I'm a graphic designer. Welcome to my channel. Today I will be showing you how you can draw a portrait in Procreate like this, and I hope you like it. For this tutorial you just need an iPad and an Apple Pencil. I will be using the app Procreate for the iPad, but the things I'm going to teach you can be done in any program. So to start off, I recommend you to use a reference for your drawing. The style I will be teaching you today is a semi-realistic style, so we will need the reference for the overall composition of the photo, but we will also be creative in the way that we draw it. So I have created a new document in Procreate, and to start off I will go into the Tools menu and then I will click on Canvas to find the window where I can put a reference inside of Procreate. So now I will rearrange my reference and my canvas and make them more or less the same size. So now I just pick my pencil that I will use for the initial sketch, and I will start by drawing the negative space that's around her body. At this point, the drawing looks kind of weird and I don't really care about how it looks so far. At this stage, it's more about getting all of the elements down on the paper and then we can refine them later. Now I will do her clothes. And even when I'm using a reference, I like to mix things up a bit and not follow the reference 100%. A thing I like to do in order to refine the drawing is to lightly erase the lines that I already created and then create a new layer and draw on top of them with a smaller pencil. My drawing is now finished and I will now flip the canvas vertically to see if there are any places where things look a bit off. And I will do the same for my reference photo. I will duplicate it and then also flip that one, and then I will import it into Procreate so I can compare my reference and the flipped canvas of my sketch. And I'll continue the drawing and edit places and erase stuff that I think looks a bit off. Once you are satisfied with how this side looks, you can then flip the canvas back to the original. So, depending on the drawing and the style that you are going for, you can do more or less refining in the sketch. For this one, I want the details to be a bit more refined before I go in with the colors. So now I'm zooming into the face and I'm just tracing over the things that I already drew, and I'm just making it a bit more refined and looking at the reference as a guide. You can also use the Move tool, as I'm doing here, or the Liquify tool, in order to move things around in a drawing. So now the sketch is finished, and before I start to color in the drawing, I will first make a duplicate. This way you always have something to go back to in case you want to change things up. So for the coloring, I will create a new layer underneath my sketching layer. And with a white brush, I will start blocking in the colors. For my sketching layer, I like to use the blend mode of multiply and lower the opacity a bit. If you have trouble finding colors, you can also always just color pick directly from the reference. Now I choose a big soft brush with a darker skin tone. Now there's a bit more dimension to the face, and I will start to outline some of the details on top. Now for the cheeks, I'm creating a new layer and using an airbrush to create this look, and after I will lower the opacity. A tip I like to do in order to make the background look more incorporated in the picture is to use the color from the background to use for a tone in the drawing. So here I'm adding a blue tone to the shirt and to the hair. And I'll continue to add details and refine the drawing. Now, on a new layer I'm using a textured brush to add a bit more realism to the skin. And with a darker color I'm also adding some freckles. Now I'm merging all of my layers together and I will refine the outlines. Now, this is one of the final steps and it will instantly make your drawing look a lot better. So create a new layer on top, and in this layer we will add some texture. Fill the layer with a solid color, like for example black. Now go into your adjustments and add the noise effect, and you can play around with the scale and how you want the noise to look. I want it to be visible but also not overpower the drawing, so I will adjust the opacity and also use multiply blend mode. Now the last thing I will add is my watermark. And then I will just flip the canvas again to see if everything still looks good. And luckily it does, so now I'm just exporting the photo to my camera roll. So yeah, that's it for today's tutorial, and I really hope that you liked this drawing process in Procreate, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!